Welcome to the SUTV Live post-game show, reflecting on a good night's work for Sheffield United as they leave Peterborough with a 2-0 win and 3 points. I'm joined to reflect on that performance now by former Blades legends Kevin Gage and Brian Deane. Kevin, we'll start with you first of all. We wanted a professional performance. It doesn't get more professional than what we witnessed today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big victory for us against lowly Peterborough, but it was a tricky game. You have to go there and stamp our quality, and our dominance on it, and we did. Thoroughly professional performance. 2-0 didn't do us justice, to be honest. It should have been 5-6-1 in all honesty, in ratio to the chances we had, and not just half chances, really good chances, especially in that first half. Thoroughly well-deserved victory today.
Brian, leading up to today's game, we said the Blades might have to be patient. The expectation was they would go and roll over Peterborough. Yeah. That didn't turn out to be the case, but it's a sign of how far the Blades have come, isn't it? That they can ride that storm and go on and get the win.
No, I mean, look, I've got to be honest, and I've said it, that was a very good professional performance. Just the way how the team set up, they were very patient. There were times where you can look at how many chances we had in the first half and say, I've seen. Let's be honest, I've seen areas like that in the first half of the season where that's happened and then we've panicked and the other team scored. But they shut the game out brilliantly well. There wasn't any kind of flamboyancy to the performance. It was just a hard working performance, professionally done. And a good time to play Peterborough, to be honest, because when you look at them and how they set up, they didn't want to come out of their own half, so that gave us the impetus to have to go after them.
Watching the game, Kevin, were you surprised by the way Peterborough as the home team approached it? Because even when they went 1 down, they still sat very deep, almost inviting the Blades on them.
Yeah, I think you have to give us credit, I think, as well, because we didn't allow them to get forward. The times they tried to break on us, our defensive work was excellent today, wasn't it? We kept getting tackles in, we kept getting interceptions in, getting a foot in at the key times, before they could mount any serious attacks. A couple of times they were trying to break through. Hourahan, took a good booking, dragged him down, tripped him up. Basham was getting important feet in at the odd times. Bogle did the same. Robinson won his tackles. We never let them get ahead of steam. They'd never got any sustained pressure, in our final third. And I don't actually think Fotheringham had hardly anything to do in that second half. Can't remember him having a shot in anger or anything at all. And so I think, as we've already said, yes, we're raving about the chances we've created going forward. And I said we could have had 5-6, and we could. But we really didn't give them a sniff in that second half. And we controlled that second half.
Well, speaking to us before the game, Rhys Norrington-Davies said keeping a clean sheet was as much of a priority as getting the win. Like you say, from that perspective, everybody's got to be delighted.
Yeah, 100%. Defenders love clean sheets, don't they? I mean, they live for clean sheets. So they'll all be delighted. But it's the way we achieved it. We haven't got a clean sheet where the keeper's had to make 3 or 4 fantastic saves and they've missed a few chances. They had one opportunity, I think, in the first half, and Wes has come out and made that save. And that's not bad. Going to a team like Peterborough, fighting for their lives, playing at home, had a decent run of, they're not a rubbish team, but they're not brilliant, but they're no mugs, and they will have a periods of play in a game where they're going to, dominate a bit and create a few chances, and we really minimalised that. We didn't give them anything.
Let's talk a little bit about the skipper, Billy Sharp, because he's the leader of this team on and off the pitch, and when you need a goal, more often than not, he provides it. But that opening goal today not only settled nerves in this game, but also made him the Championship's all-time top scorer, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, look, Billy, if you look back at Billy's back catalogue, there'll be 100 goals like that, in that box where he just seems to find, a half a yard and manages to swivel and find the bottom of the net. So no, I mean he's your ideal predator in these situations. He's got so much more experience than a lot of the players he's playing against. When I was coming to the end of my career, I found it a lot easier to get away from defenders within a couple of yards, so and he must be having a ball out there. So no, it's a testament to him, to keeping himself fit, to still having that hunger at this time of his career, and you can see the fire. You know, when he scored the goal, he's obviously having some back and forth with somebody in the crowd, and even when he came off, and that's what you want. You know, that's real professionalism for me. That's, you know, that should be infectious with the players. Younger players should be looking at that and thinking, I want to be like that. You know, because look at him, he's still doing it at his age. I want to be doing that at his age.
And what does it say about the standards that he sets and the expectations we have of him, Kevin, that when he had the chance for a second towards the end, we were surprised he didn't take it?
Yeah, knowing Billy, he'll probably be beating himself up on the coach going home that he's not going home with 2 goals there, because that's the standard he sets. And that was arguably a better chance than the first one. The first one was a half chance that he's converted into a goal. Yeah. The second one, I mean, I said in commentary, you'd put your house on Billy just sliding that in. So yeah, it's a decent save from the keeper, but it goes down as a miss from Billy. So yeah, he just keeps going, doesn't he? I mean, I find it amazing. And I said last week, we don't write him off at the start of the season, but we don't expect him to play every game, and we think he'll be on the bench and he'll play a part somewhere in the game. And week after week, he leads the line. And not only that, but he's usually the best forward. Yeah. You know, it's the most chances.
Yeah, I mean, we said this, didn't we? We said that, you know, and I've made a big point of it being a forward. I've kind of looked at the other forwards and I thought, well, who's the one who's going to come and take the mantle from him? And nobody's stepped up. He's still the man. He's still the main man. And I've looked at 1 or 2 players and I thought, come on, man. You know, and, you know, it seems now that unfortunately Ryan Brewster was kind of using Billy to piggyback to get his confidence, and that's a shame. But it just shows, you know, how much fight and determination he's got. And yeah, I'm made up for him, because I've been in that changing room when everybody's writing you off at the end of your career, and you're looking at the other players and you're saying, I can still do a job over you, and that's basically what he's doing.
Well, since you bring up Ryan Brewster's name alongside Njai, if there was a sour note to this afternoon's performance, it was the fact both of those left with knocks. We hope they're not too severe. How big a blow will that be, though, if they have to miss time?
It will be a big blow. I mean, let's hope it's nothing too serious. I'm not too concerned about Njai, because it looked like something and nothing, and I think, you know, it might have just been a knock to the knee, which in 2 days he'll be fine. Brewster might be a little bit more serious if that's a slight hamstring strain or a pull or a tear or so. We don't know, and he's had problems in the past with it, hasn't he? So if we haven't got Brewster, it does leave us a little bit short up front.
Do you know what it is? It's the mobility of the likes of him, Morgan, Gibbs, White, and Dan. You know, that's the difference in this division. You know, having those players who can, you know, who are a little bit different to the kind of, you know, the big centre forward who's easy to mark. You can get one in front, one behind. These people are the ones that make the difference in the end, don't they?
Now, you just mentioned something that we all kind of disregarded, but we've got Gibbs White to come back in. Now, I don't know how close he is to being fit, so let's just say 2 weeks away. You know, he might be crucial going forward, you know, if we are short on numbers. And we've also mentioned it in commentary as well. We've got player out on loan. You know, let's talk about bringing him back in Jebison, who's doing fantastically well at Burton. So that must be in the manager's thinking, because the last thing we want to do is go into the last 10, 15 games of the season and we look around at our striking options and all of a sudden we've got 2 out injured and you know, maybe someone else is not particularly firing or on form, and Billy's tired because he's played every game. You know, we might need to break it up. It just gives us a great option.
I mean, I mean, how old is Jefferson now? 19?
Something like that.
I mean, what a great opportunity for him to get that kind of experience in the second half of the season, you know, when there's not so much expected of him, but he's now stepping into a situation where he can contribute, and that's only, you know, okay, he's at Burton now, but if he does come back, you know, he's going to be going into the back end of the season thinking, this is the level I'm playing at now, you know, and that could be 12 months of development in 6 months, you know, if he comes back now and has a good run in with the rest of the squad.
On that note, sorry to jump in here, but transfer deadline day is just a couple of days away. I know when Hecky got given the job full time, they said there wouldn't really be any dealings in this January transfer window. Given the games are going to come thick and fast though now, as those games in hand have to be played, is there a thought that maybe the Blades might try and delve one more time into that market?
It's always an option. I'm sure they have their targets. There'll be a list of names that may be possibly available or attainable, I should say. Big decisions to make tomorrow, isn't there? Because I mean, does it finish Monday, the deadline?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so they've got some huge decisions to make tomorrow. It'll very much depend on the fitness levels of the players and what those injuries are. Listen, let's hope we don't need Jemison. Let's hope he can continue his development at Burton and we don't need him. But I'm just throwing it out there. It's just a good option to have up your sleeve if the situation demands it.
There you go. Guys in power at Bramall Lane. Gagey says, just throwing it out there. Deadline day just a couple of days away. But for tonight, it's 3 points. It's a 2-0 win on the road at Peterborough, and it's Sheffield United climbing into the top 11 in the Championship table with games in hand on those teams above them, and now sitting just 6 points away outside the top 6 playoff spots. For now, it's a very good night, and look forward to seeing you again when we're away at Birmingham on Friday night.